Okay, finally get this damn stream to work finally. Freaking YouTube. Smiley face with the hey blue face emoji. Good to see ya. So previously on Zenless, we went further into the story a bit where, fuck it, I forget. Oh, Wise and Vivian went through an invitation through a family member of the Hartmans. It wasn't Edmund, it was, Burton. Yeah, Burton. Yeah, that's who it was. Completely undisguised, which, I said was gonna be a bad idea, and they should have asked somebody else to go in for them. They went into Hartman's study, where they weren't able to find anything, only for Mr. Hartman to come in, clearly knowing that both Wise and Vivian are in his office, snooping around. And before he could shoot the desk they're hiding behind, Hugo shows up, alive, which, dull surprise, I knew was gonna happen. And then the game went into flashback mode, where we went seeing where the heck he's been since his quote-unquote death, which of course was an elaborate ruse he and Lycon had already planned out with a blood bag. And, a real magic trick that they both pulled off. Unfortunately, Hartman had drugged the wine that Hugo had when they met, and now he's cursed to turn into like a were ethereal or something to that extent, and so he had Lycon strap him into a cargo container in Port Elpis. Well, not really a container, it was actually the garage that's next to the cargo container house on Port Elpis. So now we know what the inside of it looks like. Problem is, I could not finish that whole part because I had to go pick up my mom from the doctor office, since we both had treatment for our Crohn's disease. Mine was different, so I ended up coming home early, and I thought I could get further into the game, which technically I did, but I did not get so far to the point of finishing that entire part. And so I kind of had to pick a spot where I could stop the game and then come back. So basically, Hugo's basically having a hollow Ichigo moment, where he's clearly trapped in his own dreamscape, talking to himself. How much he hates his family and his mother for leaving him behind and mistreating him like, Joan Crawford style, and how his sister was in fact killed by the other siblings, and they're all dead because their family is so rotten they make even the Malfoys look like the what are they called? The Beverly Hillbillies or something. But yeah. So, and of course the mom is alive somewhere, and Hugo does not want to kill her because she's like, why bother? She's too pathetic. Anyway, entire thing with Hugo was honestly so annoying. The way they handled his backstory and the entire epilogue story was so bad. You didn't like it? From what I understood, Lemonade liked has liked much of the story arc pertaining to Hugo, but okay, opinions are opinions, right? But I do think it kind of goes on a little. I will say it does go on a little too long, I will say.
Lycon. Never thought I'd be this genuinely thankful to see you.
He has fake waked up 2 times now.
Means this never-ending nightmare is finally over.
Yeah,
right?
he's fake woken up twice now, so we're still seeing the haze. So he's clearly not awake. Why did you break your oath? Why did you use me? My eye and those legs, they were all your fault. You. are exactly like your father. Uh-oh, the music is...
I don't want to hear something like that from you.
The music is supposed to be silent, but because I left it off here, it's kind of weird. Seems like the writers didn't handle the entire killed family part of Hugo's backstory, ruining his image, and then the future just seemed they desperately tried to make him more sympathetic, and it just didn't work. Okay.
You have no idea what that man, my father, is really like.
A person who stops at nothing for their own interests and ambitions. Just like what you're doing right now.
And what do you think I'm doing this for?
All of this was part of your plan. You knew where the Ravenlock family was going to be, so you set Mockingbird's target there. To seek revenge, you plotted to assassinate your own father, but he was too vigilant, and you failed. After almost being assassinated, your father was furious and locked everyone in the hall, but was unable to find the assassin.
And what a coincidence that a hollow disaster just occurred in the vicinity. So he used it to eliminate all the unfamiliar faces there, turning them into victims of the hollow. An easy feat for the Ravenlock family.
Yeah, the fact that the port music is playing here is so funny when it should be quiet. Yeah, it's because I stopped here when I had to go run out of the house for a brief spell that yeah. And I don't know how to stop the game without leaving the entire thing and stopping the stream by default, so I'm kind of stuck with it.
So, the one who killed innocents was my father, not me.
Deflecting a little blame there, Hugo.
You knew what choice an extremist like him would make. And you used the chaos to once again attempt an assassination. This time you succeeded. You killed your own father at the cost of innocent lives. Admit it, Hugo. You don't care about anyone else. The only thing you care about is your revenge. How is that any different from your father?
Enough. I'm tired. I may hate him for betraying me, but he wouldn't say something like that.
What?
You aren't Lycon. You're the other me, hidden deep within my heart.
Hugo takes a deep breath and slowly opens his eyes. Lycon is gone, and in this place is that familiar figure. Without a doubt, he is still within an illusion.
I've been waiting for you, my dear.
Okay, now the music is good again. Well, good in a manner of speaking, anyway.
It seems you've already grown accustomed to this place. Even turning the tables on me.
Just as you said, you are me, and I am you. There's no such thing as having an advantage over oneself. We are ultimately one and the same. Forever inseparable.
Then you should know what I want to say. When you and Lycon split, you didn't even try to clear up the misunderstanding, didn't deny or argue against what he said.
You didn't stop here to realize how drab the sequence was. It's like a one-piece pacing. Honestly, this is light speed compared to One Piece or Naruto Shippuden by comparison.
God, you realize that deep down, he was right about you. You just hadn't acted on it yet.
But I get it.
Some people live only to bring more suffering into this world. Sometimes, murder is what brings justice back into this world.
For that, I must stain these hands in blood.
That's right. Just like what you said before you faked your death. Were those words really just an act? To slay the dragon, you must first become one, with sharp claws, rending fangs, and strength enough to destroy anything. You know the truth better than anyone. If you hadn't hesitated, and instead seized the first opportunity to kill your father, none of what followed would have happened. Innocent civilians wouldn't have died. Your partner wouldn't have lost an eye and both legs trying to save people. And Mockingbird would have never gotten to that point.
So, due to the hollow disaster that happened, Lycon did in fact lose his legs and his eye in that disaster, so it was technically Hugo's fault.
You can save more people. Save good people. Save more lives than the evil ones you take.
I'm going to assume Lycon got crushed by a ton of rubble, and that's what happened.
I've spent countless hours in regret over that incident.
So why not submit to your true nature? You want to be the judge, jury, and executioner of this world. And you can.
I wasn't responsible for Father's death. The true mastermind is my uncle, Hartman. His schemes to kill the head of the family were all so he could take control. Mockingbird was simply unlucky enough to get caught up in it. So, for a behemoth like the Ravenlock family, with its roots so deep, a single person's death, regardless of who that person is, wouldn't change anything.
So boring to me, my friend. Ignored the dialogue and just a terrible Five Guys ads online. Judge, jury, and executioner. I'm personally okay. I'm personally not bothered. Maybe it's because I like a little. Maybe it's because I like. Maybe it's because I grew up playing so many other games with a similar edge to them. I don't mind it so much, but I can understand the pacing part.
Of course, whether it's Tops, the Mayflower family, or even the entire world, it's actually all the same. I refuse to be dragged down by pointless hatred any longer.
You foolish, stubborn idiot. Do you understand the power of hatred? Have we not come this far precisely because of it?
Embrace the dark side, Hugo Skywalker. It's your destiny, yes.
Or are you going to follow Lycon and Jack's twisted logic? Come on. You don't actually trust anyone? Otherwise, why would you hide this whole scheme of faking your death from them? You've built an impenetrable wall around your heart, keeping everyone out. Of course you are right to do so. No one in this world can be trusted. Always. All you'll receive is hatred from your own blood and no love. Suspicion from your companions, and betrayal that comes all too easily. But the most ridiculous thing is that you want them to trust you. You stay silent and long for them to notice your suffering. You yearn for your companion's understanding and trust. Idiot.
I will say the edgy acting for Dark Hugo is unintentionally funny, and maybe that's why I'm not bothered by it. It's edgy in in an almost funny sort of way, at least to me. But I do agree that the pacing is a little too long. But honestly, I will take this over the constant wheel spinning that happened with Neko Mata's storyline with the flake. That was boring and annoying. Whereas this is Yeah, the pacing's not good, but it's so edgy it's almost funny to me. So, give or take. Depends on the person, I guess. Re- eh, not funny, just cringe. I'm not bothered by it, but it is what it is. Hugo is what most Redditors think they sound like. So, Nekomata's story has a silver lining of a cutscene in the end. Okay. Well, yeah. Before, yeah, I will agree. It does have a bit of a Redditor bait to it.
That's why you are incapable of exploiting them for your own ends. You care about their safety even more than your own. But remember, only the weak need companions. And we are children born from hatred. We are different from them. I will never be like them. And I don't need to be.
Well, unfortunately for you, Mr. Inner Demon, you're just one part of me, and I don't have to listen to you, regardless, so...
Let me show you what powers we can wield.
But you are me.
Just what I said.
And I'll never lose to myself.
Well, how do you like that? I ended up inadvertently predicting that. Okay, the rule of life, everything comes in threes. Does this mean we're finally done? Or do we gotta fight evil me like Legend of Zelda? Yep, we gotta fight evil me like Legend of Zelda. And we actually play as Hugo in this. The cutscene with the fighting was good. Oh, do you mean for Nekomata? I guess. Anyway. Totalize enemy, recover from stun, certain amount.
Think about all the injustice you've suffered. If you choose to forgive, you're betraying yourself. You know that.
Letting you consume me would be the real betrayal to myself.
Pathetic. Out of my way! Trying to run!
Ow, ow, ow.
Beg for mercy!
Uh-oh. What's he gonna do? Oh.
Out of my way!
Uh-oh. Nope.
I have you now!
Let order and madness dance.
Goodbye, evil me. Or eviler me, whichever version. Game. Game. The fight's over. Um... Soft to lock. Did the game glitch? I think the game glitched. I may have to restart it. I'm gonna have to restart it.
Letting you consume me would be the real betrayal to myself.
Adjusting the volume to my headphones, but I couldn't react in time.
Out of my way! You're just afraid to admit it. Beg for mercy! You're too scared to face your true self and what you truly desire. Is that all? Are you trying to kill me? You think you can just get rid of me?
That's different. That didn't happen last time.
Without me, you are nothing.
For what it's worth, thank you. Don't be afraid. You and I are inseparable. You're part of me, just as I am part of you.
Fancy words won't change anything.
No. It's not just platitudes. I finally understand now. Some pain only fades when it's seen, when it's accepted. So I won't fight you anymore. I won't hate myself anymore. Weakness, hatred, malice, strength, forgiveness, justice.
They're all part of me. The dialogue gave up there. Finally, it's time to meet up with Lycon. Yes, please.
Hugo, it's time. Hugo.
He's seen better days.
You...
Did I scare you? I made it through. I won. No praise for me, my dearest partner. This
Well, that was
is
interesting.
just like what I saw in my dream.
Well, that was interesting. A little...
I guess there are still some lingering side effects.
Damn it, Hugo, can I talk? Yeah, that was a little long-winded pace, especially with Dark Side Hugo chewing up the screen a bit, but, yeah, I didn't mind it. Maybe it's because I'm used to edgy shit that I didn't mind it so much compared to Smiley, but, I don't know. That's just me, I guess.
Ah, my former partner. You're still as punctual as ever.
Are you sure you're fully recovered?
How about we fight? And I'll show you how recovered I am.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I refuse to fight someone who is in need of medical attention.
Lycon falls silent for a moment and eventually hands over a coin. No, looking at the packaging, it's not a coin, but a familiar chocolate. Ooh.
How thoughtful. I'm touched. Or perhaps is this simply part of Victoria Housekeeping's professional care?
The golden foil wrapped chocolate like you get like that you get for Jewish holidays. I would know, because I am one, and that's what it sounds like.
I'd rather you not starve to death.
Hugo takes the coin. After a moment of silence, he eventually eats it.
Not to your liking. I'm fairly certain this is the same kind as before.
No. I've just gone too long without food. It feels a bit uncomfortable.
Well, let's stop at the nearest Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A then.
Either way, thank you.
Now tell me, what exactly happened in the warehouse?
A mental breakdown, basically. Bleach style.
Just going a bit crazy from... you know what? Were you expecting anything else? But... I did have a very long dream. A dream about many things from the past.
Not as cool as what happened in Bleach with Ichigo facing the phantom versions of Byakuya, Kenpachi, and if you're going by the anime like I did, Karia. I actually like that the anime version implemented Karia from the Bount arc. But, give or take, I guess.
If I had to put it into words, it would be like giving myself psychological therapy. You seem like you could benefit from some too. How about it? Want to book a session with me? Trust me, I'm a pro.
Okay, Monk. Like Monk and his therapist.
Seems you really have recovered.
Well, of course. I'm feeling pretty great right now. Like I could argue with you all day on every petty detail of who exactly was in the wrong back then.
I wanted to ask, what you said about Mockingbird before, when you faked your death, was that part of the act?
You mean the part about how Mockingbird has never really changed anything or saved anyone? I didn't expect you to still be so hung up on this. Interesting. After all, it was you who chose to betray Mockingbird. To betray me.
Just as I said before, I never considered Mockingbird a failure. Perhaps Mockingbird deviated from its origins, but it has its value. You shouldn't reject the things you've done. Or Mockingbird.
I have contemplated this before. Yes. Mockingbird has helped some people and has genuinely managed to cause trouble for those who abuse their positions of power for evil. Yet those in high positions still possess immense resources, and the people we helped remain destitute and suffering, willing to become slaves to those in power for scraps. But just as you said, even if what we did was childishly idealistic and flawed, As little as we actually achieved, even the slightest change is by no means meaningless. Nothing holds more value to me than Mockingbird.
Ever the magician with the trick up his sleeve. Hugo stares out of the ocean, a gentle breeze lifts his golden locks, the sunlight glances off both of his eyes.
All right, let's catch up later. I still have things to do, and need to wrap up my plan.
I thought you would rest up first.
As much as I would prefer that. My dear uncle and the Exaltist fanatics likely would not give me such an opportunity. If all has gone to plan, the fish will have taken the bait already. And if everything goes very well, I'll soon have solid evidence of the Ravenlock family's crimes. Well then, thank you for your assistance, former partner. Let's part ways here.
I'll go with you.
Lycon, surely you don't think that because I just recovered, I'm too weak to deal with those useless fools.
No, but you're hungry and there's a fry stand right over there. You might as well go have some cheese fries or something.
Hartman's actions will disturb the safety of New Eridu. As I serve the mayor, I should intervene.
Very well, whatever. Let's go. And don't slow me down.
Alrighty then. Before that, don't you have something to tell me? What do you mean, Lycon boy? Don't play coy with me. I know you're not spilling your whole plan. So you kick things off by approaching Edmund from Top's Big Shots. How did you manage to sweet-talk him? I'm a bit of an illegitimate child, but I still have that Ravenlock family blood running through my veins. Funny enough, this Lord Edmund thinks direct lineage is way more noble than the side branches, which is absolutely laughable. So I played his arrogance to my advantage. Yes, and let's be real, I had some juicy intel to swap with those high rollers, but that's Mockingbird's secret, so I can't let any outsiders in on it. Was the sacrifice core from the mayor's lab your handiwork too? You could say that. Security there is no joke, so I had to leverage Tops for some extra intel. After all, as you know, they've got plenty of moles planted next to your mayor. And it was you who threw the sacrifice core up for the auction to lure in the Exaltus. You knew they'd be all over it. Yep, I embedded the sacrifice core right into the robe of heroes. They actually matched pretty nicely, don't you think? So he had already gotten a hold of the gem, put it out there intentionally, just so he could get at Senor Ravenlock. A bit overcomplicated, I will say, but hey, it kinda worked, I guess. In a weird, overly contrived sort of way, I guess. I don't know. Fuck it. Classic you. I heard that after the auction, they found a stash of counterfeit Denny's. Feel free to take wild guesses, but honestly, I think those Denny's would rather be out in the wild than sitting in those hoity-toity accounts. Then you found Hartman and talked him into partnership, getting your hands on more intel on the sacrifice and the Exaltist. After that, you shot that crime warning letter to the mayor, giving the city a legit reason to spring into action. Yup, that was spot on. Look at you, real genius over here. Yes, in the end, you faked your own death to pull yourself out of the mess. And you use the whole show to redirect everyone's attention to Hartman and the Ravenlocks, keeping the Exaltists on their toes. Hold on a sec, if that's all there is, why did you let Hartman slip you the drug? I mean, you'd have a way to dodge that kind of thing. Lycon, I've got something I've been keeping under wraps. Actually, I've teamed up with your beloved mayor. What? When it comes to stopping Exaltus, the mayor and I are on the same wavelength, so we can actually collaborate. What you should be wondering is why he didn't clue you in on this. The mayor must have his own reasons. Must have his own reasons. If you can convince yourself of that, more power to you. Just know if you ever want to swing back to Mockingbird, you can come beg me. I'll make sure to turn you down gracefully. Ugh. Alright, enough chit-chat. We've got bigger things to deal with. Yeah, why did Hugo willingly let himself get poisoned if he knew that was gonna happen? Maybe he did it so he can give himself much-needed self-help therapy, maybe? If so, that's a pretty risky, edgy way of doing it.
I'm sure you've heard about the missing workers from companies under the Ravenlock family, too.
I said it previously, and I kind of stand by it a bit. I do think that Hugo is a bit of a Gary Stew. I mean, I like him. I think he's a fun character in his own right, and in his own cringy, edgy sort of way. But I am getting like some Gary Stew vibes from him.
Those are Ravenlock's men. The workers with them are the victims who were tricked into going into the Hollow.
Ow.
Come on, let's get them out of here.
Repent!
I mean, certainly better than Kira Jesus Yamato from Gundam Seed, or Rey Palpatine. Anyone is better than those two. You untie the workers. Thank goodness, someone's here to save us. Thank you. You're welcome. So, could you tell us what those Ravenlocks did to you before they ran off? They're a bunch of liars. They tricked us into the Hollow. They said they had a job with high pay for us, but they kept avoiding the topic after we got here. Something didn't seem right, so I wanted to leave. But then they showed their true colors. They tied us all up and told us they were going to ship us off somewhere. They didn't make you take any weird medicine, did they? Nut medicine? No, but it wasn't just us they tricked. Another group went that way. I see. Here, take this carrot. There's an exit nearby. You should get out of here as soon as possible. I can't thank you enough. Let's go, Hugo. We must save the rest of them. You sure are eager. Yes.
Bunch of nobodies. Annoying as hell. Kill them!
You're welcome to try. Oh, what a coincidence.
Allow me to reap your soul. Yep.
Chill out. I can't go through here. I gotta go up there. Fine, fine.
More workers here. And quite a lot of them.
A lot. It's literally the same amount. You untie workers. Who are you? Your saviors. Thank you, thank you. Hey, it's the same guy that we talked to with Vivian back at Lumina. And is tired. I had a bad feeling about that group from the start. I shouldn't have ignored my gut instinct. Did those Ravenlocks do anything to you? Do anything? Well, we weren't doing as we were told, so they tied us up. Nothing else? Good. Oh, right, there was another batch of workers ahead of us. They should be by the roof. Don't worry, I'll handle it. You should get out of here as soon as you can. Let's continue.
Is Hartman behind this, too?
Yes.
Of
Either him or...
course. He threw them into the Hollow like offerings for the Exaltists.
Any more dialogue?
To him, those workers are just another resource, no different from the ether his company mines in the Hollow.
Any more dialogue, game? Okay. Let's Speaking of pacing, I do think the pacing of how in-game dialogue goes on a little too long, because it has happened at least a handful of times where I think the dialogue is done, and then it just as I go one step beyond a certain boundary, dialogue comes up and I miss it, and it's just like, come on, really?
There's more over there. Let's hurry.
It's different this time. Don't rush in. Let's listen in on what they're saying first. I still need more direct evidence to ensure the plan is absolutely foolproof.
The compensation you promised, it's all real, right?
No.
All we have to do is follow you into the Hollow for some simple tasks, and you'll give us a huge sum of dennies. Sounds real suspicious.
Nope, you got played like how the coachman played all the boys leading them to Pleasure Island.
Shut your trap. You keep yapping and asking questions. If this is all so suspicious, why were you so eager to sign up for it?
Because I don't have a choice. My daughter was previously caught in the Hollow disaster and suffered severe corruption. The treatment costs have completely drained our family's savings. So that's why...
It's the same for me. A serious illness at a senior age. I need the money.
Who would risk taking a job like this unless they were desperate? I'll do it. No matter how suspicious. As long as I can get paid, I'll do anything. Even risk my life.
Wait, you people from the Ravenlock family, you're part of a big company in Tops. You wouldn't go back on your word, right?
Don't worry, you'll get every denny you were promised.
Inhale.
But before we start, you all need to take this medicine first.
Uh-oh. Fierce Man pulls out a bunch of white pills and gives one to each worker. Another Ravenlock family member seems a bit doubtful and leads in to whisper.
Bro, should we really be doing this already?
These workers keep talking. We're wasting time like this. And the sooner they take it, the sooner it'll be over. Consider it an early release for them.
What? You didn't say anything about having to take pills before. Look, this is good stuff, all right? It'll increase your ether aptitude. There's tons of people who'd kill for something like this.
You don't take medicine from strange people that you don't know. Common sense.
Exactly! You'll be working in the Hollow for several hours. This is essential medication. You have to take it before we continue. If you refuse, then you can forget about the job.
Yeah, essential like the jab, I'm sure.
Of course, you won't receive the compensation either.
We gotta go stop him.
Icon, what are you doing?
Rescuing those workers, of course. There's clearly something off about those pills. We can't let them take them.
Now is not the right time. As I said, we need more evidence to ensure the plan works.
And as I said many years ago, you can't exploit innocence to achieve your goal.
So that's how you see it.
If that's not what you want me to think, then explain everything to me.
All right. It's a little complicated, but simply put, these workers will be fine. Of course, it's your choice to trust me or not. But if you try to rush in, I will stop you.
But there's a problem. If those pills are what I think they are, but there's no antidote. So what are we to do?
I trust you.
Meanwhile, the workers have also made their decision, except for the talkative worker. Most of them already swallowed the pills. That's when the arrogant Ravenlock family member finally reveals his true nature, saying, "You think I'd let you run?" while forcibly shoving the pill into the worker's mouth. After clearly capturing everything, Hugo lets out a sigh of relief.
All right. That's the evidence. Now we can go and beat them into the ground as much as you want.
Don't forget, you owe me an explanation. Also, don't overdo it and kill them, even if they're the worst of the Ravenlock family.
All right, Your Holiness, Saint Lycon.
I also find it funny considering the fact that one of Lycon's battle phrases is, "I'll bite your throat out."
Can't remember the last time we worked this well as a team. Your legs? How are they feeling?
I'm fine.
To be honest, I think I prefer the way you used to fight.
Let the party begin. The end is now.
Well, that was fast. The two defeat the Ravenlock family members.
God damn it! Who the hell are you? How dare you mess with the Ravenlock family?
Ravenlock. Savor the name while you can, for it will soon cease to exist.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means exactly what I said. I think this might be good for you. Sever your ties while you can. You still have a chance to walk your own path.
The family's honor comes above all else.
Is that really what you think? I saw the compassion on your face just now. You're not from the main family, right? That's why you were assigned to these trivial tasks. But in reality, there's no need for you to keep playing this boring game for them.
I don't have a choice. From the moment I was born into the Ravenlock family,
You always have a choice, if you're willing to act. All right, let's end the small talk here.
Hugo delivers a swift chop to the back of the necks of the Ravenlock family members.
Don't worry, Lycon. I didn't hit them too hard, just enough to keep them quiet.
How's that? My acting's pretty good, right?
What?
As always, a certain someone should take some lessons from you.
Wait a minute, she's part of my crew?
I'll leave the rest to you then.
Okie dokie.
You mean alrighty. So, she's a Mockingbird agent and snuck in with the other workers, huh? Jesus, this guy really does think of everything. Okie dokie, alrighty. Whichever it is, the workers carry the Ravenlock family members away. Now only Lycon and Hugo remain.
Okay, now can you tell me exactly what's going on here?
As you can see, that worker just now was actually an informant of mine. The pills were swapped out with vitamin tablets.
Of course. And how did he manage to do that without them getting without anyone noticing, I wonder?
Outside of this batch, some workers have already taken the actual substance Hartman has. But rest assured, the antidote for it is already in development. I found the best in the field to help, and with the data I collected before, we should have results soon.
She's working fast.
I wanted to ask. The reason you decided to lock yourself in a room and endure the effects of the drug
Was so he could use himself as a guinea pig, while at the same time giving himself psychiatric therapy.
Besides getting evidence, it was also to collect data on this drug in order to create an antidote, correct?
It seems you're not completely beyond hope.
I thought you were just being stubborn.
Sometimes I wonder if you know me at all.
Then I have one last question. Why did you never tell me any of this back then?
Because he knew you'd try and stop him, probably.
The truth is, I heard everything. That entire conversation between you and Jack. Before he passed away in that small attic. When Jack called you aside and gave you those warnings.
And he told me you might go down the wrong path?
That's right.
You've never said anything.
What would I even do? Scream and rage over your suspicions, or get on my knees and beg for you to trust me? You know there's no way I'd allow myself to do such a thing. Besides, back then, even I was confused about myself.
Jack, he...
It's all in the past. You don't need to explain anything to me. Enough. We should get going. If we're going to reminisce over the past, we should find a more suitable location.
After leaving the hall, the two arrive at a place with nice scenery.
Lycon? That incident back then. I didn't do it.
Is he talking about what happened at the Ravenlocks?
It was a scheme Hartman devised to take over the family. It was Hartman who killed my father, too. I only discovered the truth long after the fact.
So he did not kill his old man. He tried to, but Uncle Hartman got to him first. And, of course, Lycon had the misfortune of finding Hugo at the scene of the crime. And then he tried it again, and that's when the Hollow disaster happened, and it's how Lycon got severely injured. And I hope I put that together correctly, because the game keeps saying, no, that didn't happen, this is how it happened, and then contradicting it all over again. So pick a narrative, please, game. I can't think of any more possibilities.
I did indeed attack my father, and I thought he was dead. But he wasn't. I couldn't kill him.
Okay, so that part is still true. He did try to go get him, but wasn't able to do it because of bad timing.
And even before that, if I hadn't hesitated, none of what followed would have happened. Even now, I still think they deserve death.
I mean, they kind of do. His mother for selling him out and abandoning him. His father for being such a cruel bastard that even Lucius Malfoy would tell him to tone it down. If I feel more bad for anyone, it's the kids for being raised under such an evil household.
But I no longer care to personally deliver that fate. They're beneath me. And I have more important things to do.
You...
I know we may never agree on that point, Lycon. I once wanted to fight against those ugly truths that defined me, but I discovered that the more I rejected them, the more painful it became. So, I could only accept that crazed, hateful, and malicious side of myself. As long as I know I will never become like my father, like Hartman, that is enough for me.
Achieving a little inner peace.
You've changed. But I think that might be a good thing.
Don't patronize me. You've changed a lot too, compared to before. I still disagree with Jack's words. And I won't forgive your betrayal.
What?
I will walk the path I believe is right. Even if I must tread over thorns and through the mud. But I will also allow you to walk your own path. Lycon.
Should I say thank you?
You're welcome. Come to think of it, we haven't talked about your legs and eye.
It was just an accident, not your fault. I'm doing well now. I hope you are too. On the contrary, perhaps I should be the one apologizing. I misjudged you. I used to think you wanted power, that everything you did was for your own ambitions. I thought you wanted the power to pass judgment on all in this world like a god.
I am a god. I am my own god. Or you could say that in this world, everyone is their own god.
Main character syndrome, as it were.
There are many things that we are powerless to change. But there are also many choices we can make. Just as I said before, I am the only one who can kill me or save me.
I'm glad you think that way.
Let's go. I still have one last thing to do. To witness the end of Ravenlock.
As Hugo recounts the process of gathering evidence, Hartman, unable to listen any longer, slams the table in anger. And we're finally back in the present.
You really think you can take my place if I die? Never, you filthy bastard!
Well, that took 2 streams to finally get back to. Well, technically 1, because we left off here in part 99. Now we're in part 100, and it's like, oh, we're finally back where we left off. It only took, what, 30 minutes to an hour? Still a shorter time of reminiscing than a season of Naruto, I will say.
Your little tricks mean nothing. As long as the Ravenlock family stands, I can still get back on my feet.
You still don't get it, do you?
It's a pen.
This was never about avenging my father. And I don't care about taking your place. I didn't come this far just to kill you. That'd be pathetic. Right on cue. Why don't you take a look at this, Uncle?
On behalf of TOPS, I'd like to clarify that we had no involvement in the Ravenlock family's actions.
He made a deal with the other TOPS executives.
TOPS is officially terminating all partnerships with the Ravenlock family, effective immediately. We will have no further affiliation with them.
Who is that guy, and why does it look like he has an eye patch? Is he going to be a future character that we have to worry about at some point?
Are you crazy? What the hell do you get out of ruining the Ravenlocks? You want to be a petty thief forever?
Thief? Oh, Uncle. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm the name people whisper about. The one who robs the rich and gives to the poor.
Robin Hood.
I'm the master con artist who can fool anyone, anytime.
Although, to be fair, Robin Hood didn't steal from strictly the rich, as we know him nowadays. No, he robbed from the government officials that were overly taxing the common folk and stealing their property. And what he actually did was basically take back people's stolen property and gave it back to them. So, yeah, a lot of quote unquote those on the those left of Marx, they tend to conflate Robin Hood with such overly simplest within that level of thinking, when no, he didn't just steal from the rich, well-to-do people. No, he stole from from a corrupt government and gave back what was wrongfully taken from the common folk. So that's just a little Spark Notes history right there.
I'm the leader of Mockingbird. The one who turns every headline into my own stage.
For my name isn't Maximilian J. Crawford Pegasus, yes.
I have friends who'd catch me if I fall, partners who'd shed tears for me, and allies who always have my back.
By the power of friendship, I am the king of games. Yes. Ugh.
I am Hugo Vlad.
Dracula. Okay, maybe not Dracula.
You're the one who needs the Ravenlock name. I never did.
You ungrateful bastard! You should have never been born.
Oh, haven't heard that one before.
You flatter me. Same goes for you, Uncle.
You leave the Ravenlock Manor on Hugo's speedboat. After reaching Port Elpis, you all wait for Lycon to arrive.
You've done well, Vivian.
So he didn't kill him. He just wanted to royally humiliate him into a way where it's not only that is to the point that his reputation is utterly ruined and no one will ever want to deal with him ever again. Okay.
You had better give me an explanation.
And here I thought this would be a touching reunion. What's with all the anger?
Well, you faked your death while making it look like you legitimately died, left her no message of, hey, I'm not dead, you'll be fine, just do what I say and all will work out. You kind of left her in the dark, so she kind of has every reason to be angry.
Hugo, I'm a member of Mockingbird too. And I mourned your death.
Listen, Vivian. I don't want you or the people you cherish to get caught up in danger because of me. I've always been selfish. So I don't hesitate to use you all as variables in my plans.
Well, at least he's honest about it.
But it is because I am selfish that I also don't want my failures to affect my treasured companions.
Well, that's a positive spin on it, I guess.
In any case, if you were in the same position, would you not make the same decisions? Lycon's taking care of everything outside. We should go. Also, Wise, thank you. And I'm sorry for the whole act where I threatened you. It was the only way for Hartman to drop his guard against you and leave you be. I, Hugo Vlad, am forever indebted to you.
With Lycon's assistance, you successfully leave the Ravenlock Manor and return to the video store.
Master Proxy, although it is late, there is some important intel that I must give you now.
Of course. So you knew about everything. Hey, dog boy.
Did you know about Hugo's plan to fake his death and everything that's been happening, Lycon?
Yes.
I was simply playing along. After all, I could not determine whether Hugo's plan would pose a threat to you. You are a student of the mayor's late friend, and I am obligated to protect you.
You still have that habit of finding awkward excuses when you're embarrassed.
Mr. Hugo Vlad, if you have any important intelligence to share, please do so with haste. I need to return to rest before midnight.
Back to the whole butler guys.
You two sure are, close?
Like brothers, only closer.
For the sake of a certain old fossil's sleep schedule, I'll keep it brief. I learned from Camille that Dina intends to embed the sacrifice core into the sacrifice. Apparently, it will make the sacrifice much stronger. Sacrifices created this way will not retain their minds and will indiscriminately attack all living beings, including their creator. So the Exaltists don't do this. It would bring them no benefit. But Dina's concoction can control people's minds. If a person takes the pill and is injected with the serum Landon left behind, the sacrifice would be under its creator's control. Although the dormant sacrifice has been destroyed, Dina found a batch of that serum her father created and wants to create new sacrifices.
We have no idea where the core is, though.
Putting aside the sacrifice for now, Hartman's sacrifice core is fake. We don't know where the real one disappeared to.
The real core has always been here.
I knew it.
Here? In Lord Bathan's video store?
I knew it. Hugo swapped it just like he swapped the meds. Yeah, he never had it out there in the first place. He made a copy, because if he had the real one on him from the beginning, that would have meant he had ample time to make a forgery before it all went down. So the one that got tossed around the whole time, it was never real to begin with. And I kept saying, he has it, he swiped it. And wouldn't you know, there it is. Woven like a quilt.
Vivian, do you remember when I suggested you give that collectible to our dear proxy?
Ah.
I remember. But that was just an ordinary pendant. And I've met the person who submitted it. She has absolutely no connection to the Exaltists.
It was... No, but... It's what... Didn't that pendant look like a locket? Like it could open? So it's probably in there. If the... Or that or the gem or the whole locket itself is the sacrifice. Whichever it is. But yeah, it was the sick mother that was working with Vivian. She gave it to Vivian, who gave it to me, and so Hugo gave that to her to begin with.
How about our dear proxy take out that pendant so we can take a look?
After finding the pendant sent by Vivian, Hugo takes it and gently presses a hidden clasp. The pendant clicks open from the middle. Inside is the sacrifice core. Okay, I was correct. It is a locket, and inside is the real sacrifice core. So, Hugo concocted this the whole time. He put out a fake one, hid the real one in the locket, gave it to the dying mother where she could go die in the hollow from her sickness, drain Ravenlock of insurance, and then gave it to Vivian, who gave it to me, and it's been in my possession the whole time, while everyone was fighting over a fake. Yep, there it is. And it's a complete, and it's way smaller than what we were chasing on the suit. Collectible, gifted by Vivian. Looks like an expensive and exquisite piece of art. No one would have guessed it could be open inside. Couldn't have guessed. You could see the lining all around it. Where, yeah, the only thing I couldn't find was the little... What I couldn't find was the little hinge where it would swing open. That's what I didn't notice before. Inside it conceals the mysterious sacrificial core. Yeah, and it's much smaller than the fake one. Hugo, you clever son of a bitch.
I'll take your surprised expressions as a compliment for my little trick.
Okay, instead of Pegasus, we should name you Eisen instead, because you're like 1,200 steps ahead of everyone.
I will hand over this core to the mayor as agreed, since he fulfilled his promise to protect Vivian and the manager while I was pretending to be dead. I won't go back on my promises.
I was reading something.
I will hand over this core to the mayor as agreed. Since he fulfilled his promise to protect Vivian and the manager while I was pretending to be dead, I won't go back on my promises.
Good man. Honorable, as you should.
No wonder the mayor would promote rhetoric favorable to Mockingbird. I can't believe I thought he was actually being sincere.
Since we have the sacrifice core, all we have to do now is stop Dina from using innocent people to make more sacrifices.
Yes, and we need to destroy the last batch of Landon's serum.
Hopefully with no options left, Dina will give up her obsession.
All right, that's the important stuff. I'm going to go and confirm where Landon's serum's been stashed. I'll contact you again once I have something.
Alrighty. What's wrong, Lycon? Weren't you in a rush to get back and rest? You act like you're gonna turn into a werewolf after midnight or something. Well, someone did, and it wasn't him. It was the guy who locked himself in a warehouse garage. Or a Port Elpis cargo house garage, anyway. You know what I mean. How are you feeling now? Relax. I'm not kicking the bucket just yet. But you look at a bit more run down than before. Just getting over something nasty, that's all. Risking your neck like that wasn't exactly smart. Maybe you should have. Lycon. Remember what I said back when I faked my death. For a permanent and absolute victory, we must endure the pain of cutting away rotten flesh and persevere through the darkest hour before dawn. Not wrong, sure, but it was arrogant enough. Instead of playing God and picking who lives or dies, I'd rather just do what I can do. Because at the end of the day, a person can only shape their own destiny, nothing more. You've already come a long way. Well, I appreciate the compliment. Hugo, you've got a lot of explaining to do. No more secrets. I will. I'll lay it all out. I promise. After a little chat, Lycon, Hugo, and Vivian say their goodbye and take off. Back in your room, you drift off to sleep, into a deep, nice sleep. Wise, Hugo sent a message earlier. There's new progress on the sacrifice situation. They found a large batch of unused sacrifice serum. He wants us to be their guide. He, Vivian, and Lycon will be heading into the Hollow with us to destroy the serum. And I'll use the HDD system this time to head in with you. When you're ready, just give me a shout, Wise. Remember to bring Eos with you. I'm ready. Not really. I am not ready yet. No siree. Oh, would you look at that? I got some... I should probably... Well, I've got Yixuan, and I don't have to worry about her anymore. And I also got lucky enough to get Astra way earlier in the banner. Like literally the first day. Because I stocked up enough tapes to do it. But the game did not want to treat me with Yixuan until like 2:20, until the first of the last 2:20 tape pulls that I had stored up. So, well, stored up. I had 10. I did scrounge up 10. There were 20 pulls left, and I managed to get her without having to grind for another 10. So, yeah, the game was really playing hard to get with her, but I managed to get her, something I couldn't do previously when it came to Evelyn and Qingyi and Vivian and Zhu Yuan. So I got lucky this time. So I am going to have to wait for Zhu Yuan to come back if I want to get her, which I couldn't last time. Same with Qingyi. Hugo I did not do because I wanted to get Lighter instead, who's literally like one of the best, if not the best, stun lock character in the whole game. But I don't mind Hugo. I do think upon playing with him a little more and seeing his story play out, I do like him. I just was not ready to commit to him. So I'm gonna, when he comes back, I'll probably go for it. But that's basically how it is. So I'm going to let the polychromes build up a bit and then sync them into master tapes eventually when I'm ready. I'm not sure who's next on the banner block, so I'm going to hold off on pulling for anything else. I am close to doing a selectable agent thingamajig for the regular star-studded cast, but I'm not going to do what I did previously, and I wasted a whole bunch of polychromes on fishing for characters with the regular taste, because I ended up getting nothing but Anton and this character, Kaleda or Ben. It was basically a lot of nothing. I wasted way too many polychromes on regular tapes when I should have saved them for the limited time banner characters. Mind you, they still come back, but you still need to have tapes to get them. So I basically wasted my time. I mean, yeah, sure, I'm close to getting the 300, but I really did not think it was worth it at the end of the day. When I could have saved them and made life so much easier on myself by saving for banner characters I could have gotten, on top of the fact that I did technically start playing this game much later than others did, but it is what it is. And then there was the one time that I was so tired and sleepy, I ended up wasting polychromes twice on the manual level up for the city fund. So that was also a blunder I hope to never make again. So yeah, we're not done. Not even close. I suspect we're on, like, the home range of the general story arc, because we got Hugo back. We're off to go kill the drug supply and all that. So that's clearly next. And I presume the story for Bury Your Tears to the Past will end and segue over into Season 2. However, I am very much considering doing Path of the Proxy 3 before getting into Season 2 proper, because I need to level characters up in order to be appropriately leveled, not just for these quests, but for any other subsequent quests that I haven't unlocked yet, and also for everything else pertaining to Lost Void, because I cannot do any more Lost Void and Hollow Zero stuff without being appropriately leveled. I'm way too weak, so I held off on it for as long as I can, but I think I'm at a point where I can't do it anymore, so I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and do it sometime soon. It was always part of the plan, but it's really looking like I can't wait anymore for that. But as far as everything else is concerned, yeah, we still got this, and I intend to finish Bury Your Tears. I do think the whole self-reflection pit with Hugo and his dark side did go a little too long, but I personally enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know, maybe I just have a greater tolerance for cheesy edginess, but that's just me. I know, but anyway, I'm gonna go check on what my mother's doing and see what I can do to help with dinner. I don't think I'm going to come back and do another part for Triple Z tonight. I don't think I'll have time. If I do, great. If I don't, more than likely save it for tomorrow. And then after I finish off all of that, I think what I'm going to do is go back to streaming Stellar Blade, because of the Nikkei and Captain Man DLC that came up. Or maybe I'll do the Stellar Blade one first and then go back to this. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind just yet. Basically, I don't have a set schedule. I have a general mental outline of what I want to do on any given day. But, you know, stuff changes. I'm just one broke-ass gamer who just does everything at a whim. So, if he... Well, I say whim because, again, I tend to have a mental schedule of what I want to do, but sometimes... But I'm not like Asmongold or Emiru, where they... Well, they're rich enough where they can handle doing this for days at a time. Or even like other VTubers like Bao or Doki Bird. Like, this is their job as much as it is their hobby. I don't get paid for any of this. So I have a far more limited time. So whatever happens, happens. So anyway, if I have time to come back and do more tonight, great. If I don't, well, it'll be for tomorrow. And as for what I want to do, I'll either do more of this or I will do Stellar Blade, Nikkei, and Man boss fights. Who knows? I'll think it over and see what happens. So I'm gonna end it off here for part 100. And when I come back with part 101, we will continue part B of Bury Your Tears with Past. So that'll do it for now. Thank you again, Smiley, for dropping by. Sorry you did not like this particular part of Triple Z's story. But, it is what it is, I guess. So, anyway, I'll be back later with the next part. Bye.